Can you hear
Kizu,
me?
what up? Yes,
What's
sir. Yes,
good?
sir. Happy
How you
Tuesday, my bro.
doing? Happy Tuesday, bro. What's up? What's going on, bro?
Everything's well. We had a good day yesterday. We did our induction ceremony for 109 students getting inducted to our honor society for leadership. So that was
Okay.
big time. And then I teach my last class tonight from 6 to 7. So we cooling today.
Okay. Sounds good, bro. Sounds good, man. How's everything been?
Everything's going really well, man. We got 32 days until our seniors go, until they graduate, which is exciting. And then for me, just finishing up the year, I told people I'm done after this Wednesday. We got Founders Day, and then we
Okay.
celebrating years moving on forward. Like we got some final projects that students got to submit, which is a
Mm.
presentation. That's calm. We'll do that in class. But yeah, I'm excited to see these students graduate, man.
Okay. Okay. So how you want to run this, man?
So I'm already live on YouTube, so that I'll edit that. I'll post edit that after. And then what I'll do is I'll
Okay.
share this link on my IG stories so students can see
Okay.
it and then tap in and get to know you and to
Okay.
interact with the platform. And then after that, if students tell me that it's valid and they want to hear more and then obviously work together, then we'll
Mm.
set something up for this upcoming academic year because I'm doing my course again, leadership motivation, and it's gonna be
Mm.
one credit, and I'm teaching it based off Kobe Bryant's book, Mamba Mentality. So I
Mm.
definitely want to get into his personal life throughout his career, and talking about like how he couldn't express himself as much during his professional career when he was going through his personal problems around like oh
Mm.
05, oh 06 season. So
Mm.
that's where I'm thinking my framework, like this year long further connection, this bridge between you and I.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And yo, shout out your barber, man. Shout out
I
your
appreciate
barber,
you.
man. Nah, he lacy, bro. I'm like, damn, this man cut is good right now.
Appreciate you. That's my guy Rico. Fresh haircut, section 5. That's my guy. I got
Yeah,
students
all
in
right.
here. They laughing, but I know my shit all right.
Yeah.
Compared to this long hair right here.
Oh, you with the students right now?
Yeah, bro. They be I'm
They hate it?
yeah, you know how it go, bro. Because now
Yeah.
now I'm old. I'm 28, so now I'm
Okay.
old.
You're not old, bro. Don't let them
Meanwhile,
know.
I got a sophomore with no major,
Oh,
sophomore
okay.
with no major, and he on camera. Boom.
Let
Yeah,
me see where you at.
where you at? Sophomore, no major. Gary Pena. Nah, don't hide, gang. He gotta pick a major like soon, bro. Like we gotta
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
If he don't pick a major, he can't continue at the college. So like, try and
Oh,
get on.
word? That's how.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he got to
Okay.
take his common. He taking his common core, but then he got to take his major requirements. He's a good kid. Like he worked hard. He got a job and all that. He
Mm,
HOP scholar and all that, but he don't got
mm,
a major, so I'm not talking to him.
mm, mm, mm. So let's get into it. Can I introduce myself and kind of talk about who I am and what it is that I do?
100%, bro. I'm about to spotlight you. Do you think?
Okay, okay, sounds good. Yeah, so my name is Kizzle. I'm the founder of Express Yourself Black Man. We are the largest Black men's mental health platform. So essentially what we do is we educate Black men on complex mental health issues on social media, and we make it in an easy to understand way, easy to understand language. So we have over 295,000 folks that follow us from Instagram to TikTok, and also YouTube. And then we have over 100 podcast episodes where we talk with Black mental health professionals, psychologists, psychiatrists, on a variety of different topics. So if there's something that you've been dealing with as a man, as a Black man, we probably have an episode on it with some type of mental health professional. And we take that same education that we do on social media and in the podcast, and then we bring it into universities and we do entertaining and like educative um, workshops, right, and keynotes. So some of the workshops that we recently did, we just did a workshop at Union College on masculinity, helping their students through masculinity and like what that actually looks like. So they have a Black student group of like men, just helping them through what masculinity actually is, what it isn't, what healthy masculinity is, what unhealthy masculinity is, and then like working through like real life examples on how you can actually portray healthy masculinity. And then we also did a workshop at Hamilton College on like identity development, helping their students through like imposter syndrome, perfectionism, things of that nature. And we were just at Binghamton, upstate. We just did a workshop, or actually I did a keynote there, basically breaking down like holistic healing, the six different aspects of healing, from physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, social, and financial. Breaking those down, explaining what they are, but then also giving like tangible solutions to help folks. Because I think a lot of times when we talk about healing, especially for Black men, there's a lot of different like awareness that's provided for it, but not really a lot of solutions for folks. And I think with our platform, what we try to do is we not only raise awareness for stuff, but we want folks to have actual solutions that can help them. So one of the things that I've built the platform on, like the pillar that I built it on, is vulnerability, leading with vulnerability. And essentially what I mean by that is just explaining who I am, breaking down my story in hopes of creating a space where everybody feels comfortable. So with that being the motto, I want to share a little bit about my story, if that's cool with you, bro. And then we can kind of, all right, cool. Then we can kind of get into like a mock podcast because I kind of want to ask you some questions and us have a flow back and forth. So I got into this work in college, which is why I'm so passionate about talking to college students and getting in colleges in front of students. Because in college, I went through depression. So I went through depression because I had got into a relationship when I was in high school from New York. We were in New York together. She told me she's going to Delaware for college, and I said to myself, "Oh, we can't be apart. I gotta go. I gotta follow her out there. Like we ain't about to not be together, right?" So I thought we were gonna end up getting married. So follow her out to college in Delaware, and we ended up growing apart. So some of the things that probably some of your students are going through right now is I went through the same thing. You know, in a relationship with someone, but you guys are growing in two different directions. And so as a result, like the relationship didn't end up working out. And that really took a toll on me because it kind of shattered my reality. I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. So I was going through basically like an identity crisis in the middle of college, just not knowing who I was, not knowing what was going on, not knowing where I was going to be going, especially since I didn't have the person that I thought I was going to be with anymore. And so, like I said, it led to depression, and that depression led to suicidal ideations because I felt like I didn't belong anymore, right? And so for me, suicide was basically like the solution. Like this is the solution to my problem is not being here anymore. And that's what I always tell people about suicide. A lot of times people have suicide like kind of they don't understand why somebody would be thinking like that. But the reason why somebody thinks like that is because they think that that is a solution. They don't know, they don't have a solution to their problems. And so suicide becomes a solution. And so for me, that's what happened. And then eventually I got to the point where a lot of us, this is what we do as Black men, is we start grinding our pain away. So instead of me kind of like trying to focus on like how to heal, I focused on a bunch of different things that helped me to learn different things and take my mind off of what I was experiencing. So I was in college, so I obviously was in my major learning stuff. But then also I would like take up different skills like graphic design, website design, a variety of different things. And it helped me to learn stuff, but it didn't help me to actually heal. And so I was actually regressing, like things were just getting worse, like healing wise, but I was actually like doing well in school and work. And so I would go to school or work and put the mask on like I was okay. But when I go back home, I'd be crying, crying myself to sleep, not wanting to be alone, those kind of things. And eventually, what ended up happening was because I didn't actually heal, I rushed into a new relationship right around the time that I graduated. So I graduated in 2018, rushed into a new relationship right around that time. We ended up doing long distance for 2 years. 2020, the pandemic happens. In the middle of the pandemic, while I'm trying to focus on just surviving, learning how to like wear the mask outside and like all these new things that's happening, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. I found out that in the middle of the pandemic that my shorty cheated on me. So obviously that took another toll on me. Now I'm figuring out like how to deal with basically going through being cheated on. And so that really took a toll because I started thinking like, yo, woman got to be evil, bro, because there's no way. Like, I'm a good guy. I don't be cheating. I'm not out here trying to do dirt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting cheated on, and my past relationship didn't work out when I followed her to college. Like this, something wrong with these. Like something got to be wrong with these women, right? But that was an irrational thought process because it was being driven by like my trauma. And that's what I see a lot of times on social media. Like just a lot of dudes that's just being driven by trauma and then giving out advice to other dudes on like what you should or shouldn't be doing. And I'm like, bro, you the last person that should be giving advice right now. Like you need to go heal. But anyways, right? So that ended up happening to me. So eventually what happened was I realized I had a problem with like my relationship life. And so I got into therapy. And once I got into therapy, I started realizing like, yo, I thought I was self-aware before therapy, but I really wasn't. And therapy helped me to really understand a lot of different things about myself. And then that's how we started Express Yourself Black Man with just the motto of leading with vulnerability, being open, sharing my story like I just shared, and creating a space where everybody can feel comfortable talking about stuff. Because now when I tell you I've been through depression, I've been through suicide ideations, I got cheated on, I follow Shorty to college and all these different kind of things. Not everybody like, oh, okay, cool. Kizzle cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he been through some of the same stuff that I've been through. And I don't have to feel weird about going through those things because I know that he's been through the same thing and it creates a space where we could all heal and have those conversations, bro.
That's very tough, Kizzle, and thank you for sharing that, bro. And again, being vulnerable, that's something that a lot of our men here at the Mount, I wouldn't say necessarily have a tough time doing, but
Mhm.
rather there isn't a safe space for them to be able to do that. And I see a lot of myself in you and the work that we're doing is like being that relatable person, so that our story can impact them where they want to be able to share and be able to be vulnerable, be able to be transparent. For you, coming from your background and education, what was your undergrad degree in, and then how have you found the opportunity to connect your undergrad degree and your passion for mental health wellness and like combine it into the business that you're doing now?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. So my undergrad was in computer science. So I got my degree in computer science in 2018. And I'm good at computer science. Like that's something that I can, I can figure out basically anything technical for the most part if you give me enough time. How it connects with my business is like literally all of the back end for like how we build processes and like systems and software and all that kind of stuff is my computer science degree. So if I didn't have that degree, I would have probably spent maybe 3 to 10 times more money than I've had to spend to build the platform because I just wouldn't know how to build out the features. So we have something called we have a platform. I built a platform called Safe Haven. It's basically a holistic healing app that allows Black men to get connected with Black mental health professionals. They have a support network in there. There's some AI tools. There's a bunch of different things inside of there. Building out Safe Haven was literally my computer science degree. The website, I built out the website myself as well, right? So building out the website, that's my computer science degree, right? So if I didn't have my computer science degree, I would have spent a lot more money with building out the platform. So it helps me in that sense. Like I just understand things at a technical level that most like entrepreneurs or content creators probably wouldn't. And it's easier for me to be able to connect different things and like make automations and like all the different processes that I need to like make the back end of the business work. So yeah, that's how it connects together.
Yeah, that's big time considering like a lot of people always have ideas, always have content they want to share, but they don't know how to like monetize it and also
Right.
make like a safe haven in a sense where people could come get those services and products if needed. I
Yeah.
love that. I love the idea of taking your undergrad degree and actually applying it to your passion. I see a lot of our students now, they're like, all right, I'm getting this degree, but like, what the hell am I gonna do? And I'm like, well, you can make
Yeah.
something happen, bro. Like, again,
Yeah.
what are you passionate about? What are you excited about? What gets you up every morning and connect that with education and you locked in for life. For you,
Right.
because of your experience, I'm sure you're impacting tons of different Black men throughout your life.
Yeah.
You talk about an account or a time where you've had someone reach out to you and say, because of your services or because of your help or because of your content, you have made me not want to harm myself, or you made me have a new ideology or new vision on something. I'm sure it happens all the time, but if someone
Yeah.
comes up to mind, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the type of person, bro. I don't go out, so I'm prefacing this with that so that you're aware of like why I'm mentioning this one versus something else. We have people all the time, like they'll send DMs and they'll be like, "Yo, man, you really changed my life with your words and all that kind of stuff," and that means a lot to me. Don't get me wrong, like DMs definitely mean a lot to me, but they're virtual. It's different versus like being in person with somebody, which is why I like doing in person stuff over doing virtual stuff. So what recently happened when I did the keynote at Bing, I went in to do the keynote and there was different rows of people in the room. In the first row, I saw these two black men, young black men, just like they were just paying more attention in my eyes, right? Granted, they were in the first row, so maybe that's why. And then afterwards, they pulled up after and they were talking to me and they were like, "Yo, you're literally the only reason why we're friends." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about?" He was like, "Yo, because of your affirmations on the platform, like I'm a senior. One of them was a senior, the other one was a freshman." He was like, "As a senior, I share your affirmations with him." He was talking about the freshman. He was like, yeah, because of that, like we became friends. And like now we have this whole group on campus where we do this thing where we like try to talk about mental health and all these different kind of things. And we love to have you come on our campus and all that kind. And that experience like really meant a lot to me because it was like, damn, like when you have a social media platform, I know this may sound crazy. We have a lot of people that follow us, but to me, it's like you don't really know the impact you're making on folks until you have like a real in-person interaction. And because I don't go out and do anything other than workshops or like go to the gym or like maybe go to work or whatever the case may be, like I don't really see those, I don't really have those in-person interactions with people. So when I talk to somebody in person, they're like, yo, bro, like this has really impacted my life, or like we're friends now because of the fact that you posted those affirmations. That means more to me than getting 1,000 likes on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like that means way more because like, all right, this is real tangible. These are people that like are actually being impacted. And that's what we do. That's what I do it for real.
I love it. I love the impact. Because that's the biggest thing, right? Like we could motivate, we can inspire. However, what is the impact behind the words and actions that we're doing on the daily? For you,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you're not doing this alone. And I know the Safe Haven, look through your profile, right? We connect people with mental health therapists as well. What
Mhm.
does your team look like? Are you open to like internships? How has it been running the business, managing a team? Because again, your undergrad is computer science, not business or business management, but you're learning as you go, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal. And I think that's what life is all about, figuring it out as you go. So what does your team look like? How do you
Yeah.
connect individuals, etc.?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, the team right now, like on the team, we have contractors. So nobody's like an actual employee or anything like that, but we have contractors. So three different contractors, a VA, two editors. Basically, that's really the team building stuff real lean, especially since we're small business. So being lean with like your team is very important for anybody that's building a small business. You can't hire too many different folks at once because you may not have enough revenue to be able to pay them. So that's one thing. As far as like the professionals on the platform, we have over 10 different mental health professionals on the platform. And then we're always onboarding more, but we onboard as we have demand for it. So right now with the number of men that we have in the platform, 10 is more than enough because not everybody's joining the platform for like Black mental health professionals. Some folks are joining for the support network, the groups that we offer, the affirmations, the AI tools, whatever the case may be. So um we onboard as we need there, but like in terms of like the actual team, it's me, the VA that I have, and then two different editors. I would say for anybody, like if somebody wants to intern, we can potentially do an internship. It probably would be something like just posting on IG. So like getting them access to the IG account, something real simple like that, posting on IG, and then I can do like I've done this in the past where we have somebody that posts on TikTok for us and we do like a recommendation letter for like scholarships and like that kind of stuff. So we could definitely do that for sure. And then other stuff too, like if they want to learn like the back end or like how do we produce as much content as we produce? How do we stay consistent with the content? All that kind of stuff. They don't necessarily need to be an intern for that. Like we could just chop it up. They could send an email or DM or whatever, and I could just chop it up. Or if anybody has questions right now, like I can talk about the process and what that looks like too.
Well, I appreciate that. And again, yeah, that knowledge happens every day. Learning doesn't stop once you graduate from
Right.
the university here at Mount St. Vincent. I see the
Right.
gear. I see the Express Yourself Black
Yeah,
Man getting into
yeah,
clothing. How
yeah,
did you get
yeah,
into
yeah,
that?
yeah,
How did you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
designs, everything behind that, and how are you marketing it, selling it, everything like that?
yeah, yeah. So it's so interesting that when we were talking about like when we had the first conversation, you were mentioning how you want the students to win. And I found that so interesting because our next line is gonna be Black man, I want to see win. So we had already had this like
Very tough.
yeah, so we had already had this created. So like that was when you said I was like, damn, that's alignment right there for sure. So in terms of like marketing, I'll be very honest with you. I know when we're not doing enough in a certain area, merch is where we're not doing enough. Just because I don't really, not to say I don't care, I don't put enough effort into like marketing the merch because to me, that's not where the impact is. Merch is more so like, for lack of better words, a money grab. It's like you do merch when you don't really have a product or a service that you're selling and you want to be able to create some type of revenue. So that's when you'll see people like selling merch. It's just another extra revenue stream, but it's not really an impactful one unless your merch has like impactful statements, which ours does. But in my opinion, it's not as impactful as like workshops or like a keynote or pushing out more content. So we don't do too much marketing or advertising for it. When we first launched the merch, it was like we did a shoot and then we put the pictures up and then we had the website and then we'll push people to the website, that kind of thing. If I were to do like a launch for merch, what I would normally do is probably like create anticipation or hype like 2 weeks to 4 weeks before. Like maybe throw a teaser picture up or something like that, or ask people like what kind of affirmations they want on the merch. And that's how we first did it. Like we went based off the metrics on the Instagram. So when I post affirmations, that's the same stuff that we put on the merch. Is like just the affirmations that we put up on the Instagram. And so I went through like the insights and I was like, okay, this affirmation did the best out of like all the affirmations. And whenever we post this one does the best. And so that's why we started with Black Man. It's okay to not be okay. Because we knew that that one did the best. So like it would make sense for merch. Because if people liked it to share it, they'll probably buy it. The Black Man I want to see you win one is more so like me personally, like thinking about where I want the brand to be, and not necessarily just being mental health, but just overall, like holistically, what does that look like? And for me, that was I wanted to see you win. So um that's why it made sense like for us to go in this direction. And also I think that did well on the platform too. So that's how we do it for merch. I think anything like when we're doing business wise, we're always trying to get data and see what our customers are looking for so that we can understand what direction we want to go in for what we're doing. So I would say for anybody that's building a business, you always want to get data, and data doesn't necessarily have to be 100,000 folks, 200,000 folks. It could just be five different people. You talk to five people, ask them if they like a design, and four people say no, you probably don't want to go with that design. Probably not the right one. But if four people say yes, that's probably the one that you want to go with, and then you kind of make a decision from there. So yeah, always trying to be data informed with what we do.
Yeah, data. I've been learning more and more because I used to working at missions, and I'm like, yo, I didn't understand how much data matters because we can't be making emotional decisions to like
Right.
take the
Yeah.
business where we want it. We gotta
Right.
take the data that we see from wherever we can, whether it's Instagram or whether it's website traffic, and then see how we could capitalize and monetize on that.
No,
I
absolutely.
got your website. I want to go through it with you if you don't mind. So
Yeah, yeah,
this is your
absolutely.
website. Let me just make it
Hmm.
bigger. Pardon me. All right. And what I love is, yes, we have the social media following. Yes, we have the website. But obviously, all of you are connected with Kizzle now through this YouTube stream, and I'll post it later on Instagram. There's an opportunity to connect and learn. As all of
Hmm.
you are finishing up your degrees or pursuing your degrees here at the Mount, these are opportunities where you can start to learn from others that are recently out of college, university setting, and connect and see what they're offering. Because all of you have ideas, all of you have aspirations. The only way to get better is to get out of this experience of the Mount St. Vincent campus and learn from others. So, Kizzle, if you could walk me through the website and just let me know what you want me to
Yeah,
focus on, everything like that, I'll do that.
yeah, absolutely. So what we can probably do here is just scroll down just a little bit. You can stop right there. So our website, like the homepage, is really just a funnel to try and get people to click to see what Safe Haven is, because Safe Haven is our largest revenue stream. So this is like I didn't know we were going to go in this direction, but I'm cool with it. Like this is great. So like getting people to understand like business and entrepreneurship. So like data, right? So data for us has helped us to realize that people are going like our highest revenue stream is Safe Haven. So it doesn't make sense for us to have the website pointing to a bunch of different things if we're making the most money from Safe Haven. So that's why we like push it heavily on the homepage. So if you click that join Safe Haven button, what it'll do is it should, yes. So it'll take you to the Safe Haven page where you can see more information about the platform. And so this is a good example of what a product page should look like for a subscription-based platform. For like different products is gonna have different stuff. And so what we did here was we really just went and looked at what our competitors are doing and then tried to take what they were doing that was good and make it better. And then whatever they weren't doing, we tried to learn from it. Um, Tried to learn from what they weren't doing well, basically. So here you'll see what we have all these numbers. These numbers are just to build credibility for anybody that's first looking at the platform. They don't know what it is. But when you see 400 plus Black men with access to mental health professionals, 5K taught Black therapists, right? 200, right? When you see all these different numbers in your head, now you're like, okay, this is a credible platform. They have 400 plus Black men here, or they've done this and that. It helps to build credibility. And so we had credibility at the top because people don't buy from people they don't trust. So if they don't trust you, there's a problem, right? The next thing here is the YouTube video that shows the platform, because now people are like, okay, cool, the platform is credible. What does it look like? And then we have testimonials from people that are actually in the platform, because now as you've seen the platform, you're like, okay, does this actually really work for actual people? So these are real testimonials from folks that are inside the platform. Then what you'll see also at the bottom is um, you see that bar that's just kind of scrolling with you. This is for mobile because we know a lot of our folks are going to be on a phone. So if they're scrolling down and there's not a way for them to join when they want to join, they will not be able to join, and we may lose out on that sale. So we have that scrolling bar that kind of walks with them. And then this right here is just basically like talking through the different features of the platform as you scroll. It shows you a new feature with also what that feature looks like, with also the link to it so that you can join there if you want to. And then this again here is basically showing the healers that you get access to in the platform, what they can help you with, how many years experience they have with Black men, what they look like, all that kind of stuff. And if you keep scrolling, I think after here is, yeah. So this is another, like, this is a call to action. This is more testimonial stuff, building more, um, like more trust, showing people that have been actually impacted by the platform and what that looks like. And this is like a comparison table showing people what they would get access to, with like different infographics to explain what those are. And the last thing I think is another call to action, but then also like the pricing is going to be after this, I believe, of what that is. Or no, actually the price is after this. So this is actually like a good, this is a good section too. So this section is basically like breaking down for people that may be interested in it, like breaking down, answering their questions and showing how we can help them. Right. So like if you're struggling with depression, I'm basically explaining like I was the same way. This is what I looked like when I was going through depression. And, this is what I look like now. And this is a result of me actually healing. And we can help you with that inside of Safe Haven. Here's a testimony of someone that we helped join Safe Haven. Right. So like knowing what our customers are going to be potentially dealing with, writing those out, and then like helping them with those specific things like through text on the actual website. So um yeah, anybody, and if anybody has any like more questions about like what that process is or like why we decided to make the website that way, they can feel free to ask. We could talk more about it, or they can email, DM, whatever.
That's super dope because rounding out this conversation, I want to ask you, leadership. Like sometimes it's hard because we might be the youngest at the table, we might be the most innovative, we might be the one with the least experience. However, sometimes we're sometimes the most passionate or
Mm.
sometimes the most creative. For you, how have you dealt with dealing with other leaders in this space, but also trying to lead your own trail and make your own path and leave your mark in this world with Express Yourself Black Man?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a great question, bro. I'm smiling because I feel like I'm the type of person that I always feel like I'm being slighted, but I gotta realize it's probably like an ego prideful thing rather than an actual reality thing. So taking everything with stride and understanding that God's timing is perfect, and that if it's not, aligning with what's supposed to be happening right now, or it's not aligning with my timing, it's probably for a good reason. So say that to say there's times where I feel like I should be involved in certain conversations or certain events. So like I should be there and like I should be a voice there. And like other people will be there, and I'm like, why is like this person there versus me, right? Like I should definitely be there over this person, or I should have been there, I should have been involved, or whatever. But again, God's timing is perfect. So being obedient and trusting and being faithful that God is going to deliver when it's necessary. So that's what keeps me grounded. I don't focus too much now, especially on what other people are doing. I used to, I'll be very honest. I used to spend a lot of time like, damn, this person did this and this person did that. And then I'll do the comparison thing. I don't do that too much anymore because I'm not on Instagram as much anymore. As crazy as that sounds. The VA, like our VA posts on Instagram for us. So I spend less of my time on Instagram, more of my time trying to do stuff like this, and doing like partnerships and like figuring that kind of stuff out. And so I'm less in the like Venn diagram world of Instagram where you're kind of always comparing to different folks and seeing what they're doing, all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing that as much anymore. And I'm trusting in God to just align me with who I need to be aligned with and I'm staying focused on what it is that I know to be like the most impactful work, which for me right now is like getting into universities, talking to students, doing workshops, keynotes, that kind of stuff. So I don't focus too much on what everybody else is doing. I know that the opportunities will present themselves when necessary. And I also understand that I have a unique perspective that is valuable. And regardless of if people see that or not, I know that to be true. So once I ground myself in that fact, it allows me to stay comfortable wherever it is that I am and know that like the opportunities are going to present themselves, especially since I'm being true to myself, but then also true to what God is calling me to do, like staying obedient. And that's a big thing. I know I mentioned God multiple times there, but it's for good reason because if you're doing stuff for yourself, um, there's a high likelihood that you're probably not on the right path. But when you're doing stuff when you know God is aligned, you're not gonna, there's no way to lose. So that for me is like what helps me for the most part.
Amen, brother. That's an incredible testimony. Rounding third on this last question from me to you
Mhm.
is like, I'm a dreamer. I love dreaming. I love seeing because I really feel like if it's in my head and God provides that imagery in my head, I feel like I could do it because it's in my head
Absolutely.
for a reason. So like for
Absolutely.
you, where do you see Express Yourself Black Men? Not a 5 year, 10 year plan, but what do you see it ultimately doing? I know impact, but when you
Mhm.
see it as like a program being in this world as like a prominent mental health connector, incubator type of vibe. What do you see it eventually growing into and being and continuing to grow into?
I see it as a household name, like one of those things where people are like, oh, as especially maybe not, hopefully not in a bad way in the future, because these things can turn into like bad things, but like something where it's like if you know a black man is dealing with something, the first thing that you think about is express yourself black man, regardless of what it is. Like if it could be health, it could be social, it could be whatever. The first thing you think about, oh, you should probably go to that express yourself black man clinic or whatever the case may be, right? So that gets into the next part of this is like eventually we're gonna have outpatient clinics in every like black major prominent black city in the US, right? They're gonna be kind of like not YMCA's, but kind of think about like a YMCA, but more ingrained with the actual community and something that the community actually is like really interested in. Like people like you or myself would actually pull up to on a Saturday or whatever and actually go and hang out. Like so that would be where we're going in terms of like actual things. But like what the impact is gonna be is like household name. Whenever a black man is dealing with something, okay, to point him to express yourself black man, and there's good things that are gonna happen from that. And that there's like a clinic or a facility like 15 to 30 minutes away from you if you're living in a prominent black neighborhood. And that clinic or facility will have mental health professionals, they'll have doctors, but it'll also have like a studio for like if you want to do rap, but also like a dance studio if you do dance, right? Gym, multiple gyms, right? It'll be like a gym where you can actually do like working out stuff, but also like a basketball gym and like a bunch of different stuff is gonna be inside there because I think it's important to meet people where they are and offer them what they need. So what better way to do that than to offer people the stuff that they love in one space, but also meeting them where they are in their actual neighborhood, and providing them access to the solutions, right? So the mental health professionals, doctors, all that kind of stuff. And you'll see like at 12 o'clock, if you go during people's lunch break, you got a doctor that you probably just talked to like 2 weeks ago, and he's playing basketball with some other folks. And now it's way easier for you to get for you to get to solutions and resources because you're seeing the same people that you would potentially work with. They're real people. They're doing stuff that you probably wouldn't normally see them doing, but it's helping you to feel more comfortable in those environments. And so you don't feel like you don't belong. You don't feel like you have blockers and all that kind of stuff. So that's the vision. And then the impact would just be household name. Everybody's kind of pointing you to that.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the relatability and the way you started this conversation. I love Big Sean. He's one of my favorite rappers. And
Mhm.
Detroit too. He has an incredible bar. He's like
Yeah.
every problem come with a solution. And I'm like, that's true. And I was thinking about it deeper in like one of my workouts this past weekend. I'm like, It's true. Something wouldn't be categorized as a problem if it doesn't have the opposite of a solution. And what I
Mm,
see Express Yourself Black Man is doing it is providing solutions, resources, relatability, and destigmatizing every part of the industry so people could get these solutions that they need to progress
absolutely,
forward
bro.
as an individual in this world, especially Black men. So,
Hmm.
Kizzle, I appreciate you, bro. You're doing God's work for sure. And I usually give people their roses. And I'm extremely proud of you. Another young Black man in this world doing God's work, staying obedient and
Hmm.
listening. And
Hmm.
I'm proud of you, bro. Continue on the journey. And I thank you for your time. I know I was late by 6 minutes,
It's all
but
good.
this video is going to live on forever. So I definitely share this with our students, share
Yeah.
this my colleagues, most importantly, so we can continue to bring you in and continue to nurture this relationship here at the University of Mount St. Vincent.
Nah,
Appreciate you.
absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro. And y'all at home, man. Y'all in New York, so it ain't nothing, bro. So listen, let me know what's up. We could definitely have a conversation and figure some stuff out, bro. So I'll be excited to like pull up and actually talk in person to the students to like talk about whatever, whether it be mental health, relationships, masculinity, identity development, business, personal development, whatever it is that they want to chop it up about. We can create something and make something impactful, bro. So I appreciate you. Thank you for giving me my flowers. I also want to give you your flowers, bro, because you in the trenches doing the work, right? And like this is what we need to be doing, especially as Black men, young
Facts.
Black men, right? These students need to see more of us, right? And like see what that looks like and have conversations and be able to be open and vulnerable. And I can tell just from your small interactions with the students that they most likely appreciate that because I know for myself, growing up and being in college, if I had someone your age, like that I was able to like bounce ideas off of, that was a Black man, like that would have been invaluable to me. I would have been always in your office talking and having conversation. That's just me, right? So like I definitely would appreciate that. So I can definitely give you your flowers for that as well. Just being that because you create that space. I know you were saying like they
Yeah.
don't always have that space to have those conversations, but you just being you and being there, you create that space and they need that, bro. So definitely want to give you your flowers as well.